On a rain-soaked afternoon, the city seemed wrapped in a quiet shade of gray. It was in that gray stillness that I first noticed Megla standing beneath the broken tin shade of a bus stop. An umbrella rested in one hand, and a walking stick in the other. Each step she took created a soft tapping sound against the pavement, as if she were gently announcing her presence to the world. Her right leg had been weakened by an accident in childhood. Walking was never easy for her, yet there was a firmness in her face, a strength that suggested she had learned to measure every barrier in her own way. I worked at a small bookstore nearby, and every afternoon I would see her returning from college, a heavy bag slung over her shoulder, her eyes carrying more dreams than the weight she bore. One day, gathering unexpected courage, I said, "If you'd like, I can carry your bag." She looked at me and smiled softly. "I'm used to the weight of the bag. It's the weight of people's stares that feels heavier." Her words stirred something deep within me. From that day on, our conversations began. We spoke about books, music, the changing colors of the sky. Slowly, I discovered that inside her lived an ocean. There were waves of pain, yes, but greater still were the tides of hope. Our relationship was not simple. When my family found out, their first response was resistance. My mother said, "Couldn't you find a healthy girl? Have you thought about the future problems?" I remained silent, but inside me a quiet protest was growing. Does love arrive after examining the perfection of a body? Megla knew about the opposition. One evening, sitting by the riverbank, she said softly, "I don't want to become a burden in your life." I held her hand and replied, "You're not a burden. You're my strength." Tears filled her eyes, not tears of sorrow, but of belief. We decided we would not run away. We would fight gently, patiently. We would explain to our families, to society, and if needed, we would let time stand beside us. The days were not easy. There were sharp remarks from relatives, whispers in the neighborhood, and the uncertainty of finances. Yet Megla completed her studies and secured a job at a school. She stood on her own feet, yes, with difficulty, but with dignity. Gradually, my family began to soften as they witnessed her courage and kindness. On our wedding day, when Megla stood beside me in her red sari, her walking stick was still in her hand. But that day I understood something clearly. The real obstacle had never been in her body, it had lived in our eyes, in our narrow thinking. Now, years later, as we sit on the balcony in the evening sharing tea, the tapping of her stick no longer echoes sharply. Instead, it feels like the first melody of our love, a sound that reminds us that true love transforms weakness into strength. Obstacles could not stop us. In the end, they only taught us that genuine love is greater than any barrier.